Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay, this video, we have updates on some of the stories. We have some news stories. We have a little bit of Johnny Thompson. Yes, our favorite Scotsman. He's not really Scottish, I think, but okay, he's in here. Trust me. And I've started reading the Revenge book and I have my thoughts on it. So let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off this morning with these pictures that were placed on Twitter by Jojo Marsh. They're apparently cottages that are located in London. They're like magical. It'd be like living in a fairy tale. You know, I mean, just look at these. I would absolutely love to live in one of these. Thank you for posting them. Next up, one of my followers who did not give me permission to use her name sent me this photo. These are apparently monarch butterflies. They're blue. I always thought monarch butterflies were orange, like the ones that were taken in the picture with Prince Philip, but I guess they could be any color. Anyway, she was telling me that from where she lives, they were just placed on the endangered list. I mean, aren't they beautiful? I would love that. Next up, I just want to say that somebody responded and told me that amber begins as tree resin excreted by the tree to seal a gash or wound in the bark, and then the insect got caught in it, and over millennia it hardened into the amber we see today. I had no idea that's how amber came to be. Yeah, love it, and I've learned how it came to be. Thank you. All right, next up, an update. We've all seen this photo of Harry. Everybody assumed that Meghan looked angry because he had just been called the Duke of Wessex. There is no Duke of Wessex. There's an Earl of Wessex, and that's Edward. But this came out. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this because I haven't seen the video for it. But apparently, it's being alleged that Harry sat down all happy and looked to Meghan and said, "What do you think?" That's what the lip reader said he saw. And supposedly, the lip reader said, Meghan looked at him and said, "You could have done better." That would explain the look on his face. Absolutely. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I want to discuss what happened here. Now, this young lady, I have no clue who she is. Some people are saying she's somebody named Sarah Data. I have no clue who she is. And other people are saying that they've seen on her Instagram account that she stalks celebrities and takes photos with them. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. But you remember how earlier that day, she handed her water bottle to the staff behind her who had a little cough, and everybody was going, "Oh my God, she's so sweet. She handed this stranger a water bottle." And come to find out the woman works for her. Doesn't mean she didn't hand her the water bottle. But let me show you the video of what happened when Meghan came out from lunch with Gloria Steinem, and she put Gloria in a taxi. And then this is what happened. Watch this. Now, keep in mind, they have security all around them. They're flying private jets. Nobody, we've seen how the security behaves. Get out of the way. Nobody take a picture. They were warned in the restaurant not to take a picture. Hell, I would have taken a picture, and when they threw me out and the restaurant came to me for my bill, I would have said, "Sorry, let them pay for it. They threw me out." That's what I would have done. But I digress. Does anybody really think that this wasn't a setup, that some random woman, she could have had a knife. She could have been armed. Does anybody believe that she just said, "Can I have a photo?" and security just stepped aside and let this woman wrap her arms around Meghan? I don't. I believe it was a setup. All right, moving on. All right, next up, it was confirmed by people who had watched the entire thing that Harry and Meghan were the only people who were escorted to their seats. Now, we all heard that the usher said, when Harry said, "I'll just sit here on the end," the usher said, "No, you have to move in." And he said, "On whose authority?" or whatever. And the usher goes, "Your grandmother." So apparently, I'm going to show you the video again of them walking down. And then a photo apparently was taken that shows when they were told that they had to move in. So just watch this. Yes, it's being claimed that this is the photo that was taken right when they were told that they couldn't sit on the end. And to be fair, Harry looks irritated and Meghan looks shocked. All right, let's move on to one of our bigger stories of the day. In case you guys don't recognize this young lady above, she was a stripper in Las Vegas back when Harry was there visiting. Now, what she is claiming is that Harry left his pants with her during their Las Vegas night out, and she's selling them now for money. That would not surprise me at all. We all saw the pictures how many years ago of Harry's behavior while he was in Las Vegas. He was out of control. He was drinking. He was smoking. He was misbehaving. But remember, guys, this was the Harry that we loved, right? He was following after his Randy Andy. But how many of you guys think he went just a little bit too far? Strip poker. Yes, that's what was reported at the time. Strip poker. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Harry the feminist. I can't wait till he explains this to his daughter. And you guys should know, just FYI, Buckingham Palace said that stripper woman was not on the list of people who went back to his room that was supposedly allowed in his room. So who knows if those are really Harry's pants? Think carefully before you buy them. Next up, the stories are coming out. Who thought it was a good idea to let Prince Harry make the keynote speech at the UN and let him drone on about climate change and the Constitution? He's not very bright. He's not qualified to lecture us on anything other than, and I'm quoting right from the article, living a rich, privileged life in a royal palace. So whoever it was clearly in the wrong, especially after he gave that speech. We all know that it wasn't given well. He looked like a mad, depressed robot. So people are saying the Harry BM, which was before Meghan, was a happy a person. He laughed a lot. Everybody adored him. He liked to cuddle old ladies, they're saying. But these days, it looks like someone literally sucked the personality out of him. And it's like watching paint dry. Yeah, I agree. For those of you who are unaware, the private jet that Harry and Meghan took from LA to New York to go to the UN thing and give that speech, puts out 10 times the yearly British person's complete carbon footprint. Yep. Hypocrisy at its best. And I have to say, I agree with this article because the response from the United States has not been good. He is trashing the U.S. Constitution. Now, while we are split over this in the United States, it's our Constitution, okay? But I don't want a pampered English prince weighing in and giving his uninformed thoughts on it. I don't know what made him think he was qualified to even say that stuff. He wasn't qualified, but let's be honest. We know he didn't write that speech, but he should have stood up and said, I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every time he opens his mouth, it makes him look worse. Now, in the article, it says that people are fearing for Harry because he's changed so much for the worse in such a short time. He looks lost. He looks miserable. It's horrible. And I think he's got mental health issues, and I hope he can get the help he needs. I don't think he's going to get the help from his wife. If he was going to get the help from his wife, I think he would have had it by now. Next up, the articles are coming out that Meghan and Harry know that their time in the limelight is limited. Cambridge children are getting older. They're going to start going on doing things in the next few years. They're going to start taking all the attention. They're the next generation. But the problem is people aren't going to be interested in Harry and Meghan's children because what philanthropic work are they going to do? Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be smart. What are they going to do? Yep, the children are growing up and they're going to take over. And with that, they're going to continue on with their public stunts. Whether it's positive or negative press, I don't think they care as long as they're in the press one way or another. I mean, we know they said they wanted to establish themselves as private individuals, but we already know that they've been seeking public attention every chance that they get. Harry himself said, and I'm quoting, eventually Prince Louis, Prince George, and Princess Charlotte would become the new interesting characters. And he knows that because he was once the spare to the heir. One of Harry's friends said to the Sunday Times that Harry's always been in a rush to make an impact because he knows he has a limited shelf life before the public want to hear more from George and his siblings. And after that, he says he'll be nobody, so he's rushing. Now, we know that Harry and Meghan have struck several multi-million-dollar deals, and nothing has come from them. Spotify never released the archetype thing. Now, since the Harry Walker agency was signed and then let go with no fanfare, and the Spotify thing was signed, and I have a feeling they were let go with no fanfare. I have to tell you, I'd be shocked if something came out at this point. Now, it had been said before that Harry and Meghan were asking to return to the royal fold as 6-month royals, 6 months in the UK, 6 months in the United States. That's why Harry is fighting for the UK protection, because he says he can't return to do that without the protection. Here's the problem. The royal family doesn't need them. They're doing very well without them. And it's being reported that Meghan Markle is actually shocked that they're able to do so well without Harry. I don't know why she thought that they would be indispensable, but it's turned out that that's not true. It's being reported, allegedly, that Harry and Meghan, after Elizabeth passes away and Charles becomes king, that Charles is going to let them come back as part-time royals, 6 months working royals, 6 months in the state where they can do their own thing. I think they've underestimated Charles. I mean, they, Harry's like, yeah, the Queen loves me, but the Queen understands that you can't be half in and half out. And it was the Queen who made the decision. And they think that they can circumvent her decisions once she passes away and Charles is in charge. But the problem is, people are saying that they're not wanted back in Britain. They made their choice to leave. That's it. You can't be half in and half out. The crown doesn't work for you, you work for the crown. That's what the Queen said, and I believe it. All right, we're going to move on to Eugenie and Beatrice. The stories are coming out that they're struggling to remain cordial with William and with other senior figures of the royal family. They're apparently at odds with William, Charles, Kate, Camilla, everybody. And this was all because Charles is talking about slimming down the monarchy when he becomes king. They apparently want their father, who's Prince Andrew, to return to public life in some form, which is not going to happen. Interestingly enough, we know that Andrew wanted to come back, and we know that he's been, on the chopping block, but apparently he thinks he can make a return by his daughters carrying out charitable work, which we have seen more of them, but the monarchy that Charles has planned does not even have minor roles for Beatrice or Eugenie. So things are getting difficult, not to mention the fact that Eugenie apparently has been feeding information, it's been alleged, to Harry and Meghan about what's going on with the royal family. So when they stopped giving them information, suddenly the leaks stopped. Very interesting. All right, here we go. Now, the Queen has once again invited them to Balmoral, Harry, Meghan, and the kids. Every time they've been invited, they have said no. Now, she offered a little caveat, a little tasty treat. If you come, you can spend some quiet time with me away from the rest of the royals. That way, you have time to talk to me, and you don't have to worry about William and Catherine and everybody else. Now, here's my interesting thought on this. I don't think that was set up to protect Harry and Meghan. I think that was set up to protect the other royals. I think William and Catherine don't want to take any chance of being taped, having pictures taken of them. You know what I mean? So I think the Queen said, okay, we'll arrange it where you can have private time with me and you don't have to be anywhere near the other royals. As much as I absolutely hate to say it, this very well could be their last chance to talk to the Queen privately. Not that the Queen would make any decisions without talking to William and Charles, because she would. But this would be his last chance to have the chance to talk to the Queen without any interference from anybody else. And it looks like he's saying no, and Meghan is telling him say no. That's a mistake, in my opinion. I feel that that's a mistake, as I previously said, because this literally could be Harry's last chance to plead his case and Meghan's case and the kids' case to the Queen. This could be his last chance to have unfettered access to her, to tell her everything that he thinks about everything that's gone on, and to get his honest feedback from the Queen, and to possibly have the Queen intercede on his behalf with Charles and William. This is it. If he doesn't go, I think it's a huge mistake on his part. Just my personal opinion. All right. With the help of my fabulous followers, I've been able to start reading the book, even though my official copy has not shown up. And I am up to chapter 7. And here's my impressions. I told you guys before I was not going to read it out. Number one, it spoils it for people waiting for their book. And number two, I don't want to have any copyright infringement. But here's my honest opinion. In my opinion, Meghan Markle's father and mother both spoiled her rotten, never told her no, and indulged her. That comes through very clearly. And I don't think that either one of them have even denied that she was very spoiled as a child. Number two, the impression I got up to chapter 7 also is that Meghan was never subjected to racism in school. She was popular. She had friends. She was like homecoming queen. She, all of this stuff about when I was growing up, I had all these issues with other kids because, they knew I was half black and I didn't fit in. That's not what other people are saying. She never had racism issues growing up. That was the second impression that I made. And my third impression is that she lied a lot, like the P&G letter, to find out. And I've told you guys before, they did not change the entire commercial over one letter that was a school project. We all know that. That's not how corporations work. But thousands of letters. And that interview happened because her father intervened. Now, people, I know that the Sugars don't want to believe any of this and they say it's all lies, but Tom Bauer is scrupulous in his research. He apparently found out lots of other things about Meghan that he could have put in the book, but he didn't because he couldn't back it up. He couldn't get the proof to back it up. Everything in that book has been proven, run past attorneys, etc., etc. It does come to find out that Thomas Markle did make a call to a friend who was at Nickelodeon, and that's how the interview happened. And he told her that the thing was changed because of her, and that's the story that she ran with. But essentially, he lied to her. Now, to be fair, you can't blame that on her. Her dad lied to her and told her that that was because of her, but it wasn't true. And so you got to let her off the hook for that one because her dad lied to her. But it's also been shown that she lied when she said she saw the riots going on about Rodney King. That was a lie. She has lied and she's tried to make herself more important. Now, again, lots of people lie, but she lies about a lot of stuff. And I think the lying as a child morphed into lying as an adult, not realizing that with the internet, things that she was saying could be proven. Like when she said she gave that speech and she got the standing ovation, and then the video showed up of the speech, there was no standing ovation. She says it happened, but the video proves it didn't happen. I think she seriously sometimes has difficulty telling between reality and what's fantasy. That's a little scary too. So I'm going to continue to read. There's a lot going on today. I may not be able to read any more chapters today, but as I read the chapters, I will continue to give you my impressions. But I think her parents overindulged her. I think her parents spoiled her rotten. I think her parents agreed with whatever version of events she spewed out, and that's what led to the way she is today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know that Johnny's married. I got over that disappointment very quickly. And I wanted to end with this picture. And also, although I've shown it to you before, here is a video of Johnny talking, giving an interview. So stare into his eyes, listen to his voice, and enjoy.
Second time for the Royal Regiment of Scotland. The last time the Argylls and Sutherland Highlanders were on parade was 1988 in Windsor, and then prior to that, 1979. So there's a real historical link, and it's nice to be able to fly the flag for Royal Regiment of Scotland in London.
All right, you guys. So once again, lots of information. Who thinks that woman really has Harry's pants? Because I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't believe he has the pants. And of course, we have the information that the Queen has offered to have Harry and Meghan come to Balmoral away from all the other royals. I wonder if they'll take her up on that. Interesting. So don't forget to leave those comments below. Don't forget to double check the subscribe button if you've already hit the button. And if you're unsubscribed, hit the button so you're resubscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund through the thanks button and through the link, thank you very much. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, and Rumble. And as always, you guys, have a great day.